What's up, African Superstar family? It's the one and only. Yes, I'm back at it again. Today I want to talk about, did I also move to the UK for a man? So I posted an unpopular opinions video the other day about, the experience of other people here in Ghana is not my own experience. And it kind of spins off so many various other topics. One repeat comment I keep seeing on my videos, I've been seeing it for years, which is,
I came to Ghana for a man.
And I have repetitively responded to this allegation, and it's just so absurd because, first and foremost, I'm a very attractive, intelligent, accomplished, sophisticated woman. I want to say for the record, I've never had problems attracting men in any location that I have lived. I also want to state for the record, for those of you guys that don't know, I have been married before. Okay, it's not as if I've never been married. It's not as if, I literally, since I probably started dating before I was 16 years old, I remember my first boyfriend was around when I had my 16th birthday. There's a lot of men available. I don't really experience, again, some of the problems that some ladies do with just not being able to attract men. But I will say that I have a high standard. Anybody that I would entertain, he has to be a certain type of way. It's not just every man that gives me attention or those kind of things that is going to go the mile with me. And at this stage of my life, because I have a great life, because I have a great lifestyle, I'm even more mindful as to who I incorporate in my life. But nonetheless, I want to pose the question, since I only came to Ghana for a man, did I also move to the UK for a man? Did I also travel 20 different countries for a man? Huh? Because, the connotation that the only thing that maybe Ghana has to offer or Africa has to offer to people is this whole, sex tourism, relationship, blah, 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 blah. I mean, again, if you watch me at all, about some of the gentlemen I've dated over the last few years. There was Joseph Mayer, who is still to this day my celebrity photographer. So wrap, guys. Another amazing photo session. Thank you so much, Joseph. We appreciate you. Joseph Mayer Photography, the one and only. Yeah, so look at my makeup artist. Look at how he gets down. Great. You got mood? You shaking it? Hey. Amazing team. Thanks, guys. There was Fifi, who I had a whole series with, Love on the Continent. Fifi moved to the UK. Joseph is still here. We just work together professionally now. And, if I was that type of woman, and might I add, every dude I've ever dealt with, including my ex-husband, all baddies. All baddies. Period. Okay? I don't roll with anything that's not up to par. Seriously. If he ain't easy on the eyes, if I don't like looking at him, he ain't gonna be with me. But if I were that type of woman, there's an abundance of men available, especially for desperate women. Desperate women can come here today and get married tomorrow, because a lot of guys here are looking for, a smooth ride, sugar mommy, somebody to take them abroad, all these kind of things. When you actually look at relationships in terms of compatibility instead of survival, which I know a lot of you guys don't know how to do, because a lot of you guys don't know how to survive and be stable on your own. I'm just gotta say it. When you look at relationships, you don't look at, is this person compatible? Do I like this person? Do I want a long-term future? You're looking at, I need a place to live. I'm getting old. I need a baby. You know what I mean? I have cobwebs up on that thing. I haven't had no action in years. That's how you're looking at it. So, I want to pose the question, because it's really hard, I think, for a lot of Westerners, specifically Americans, specifically Black Americans, to concede that you just dislike the American environment and you want to live somewhere else. And again, I talked about on the previous video, we're not all coming from the same backgrounds. We're not coming from the same experience. I'm not the type of person to put others down and feel superior, although a lot of times their insecurities will perceive me that way. But I didn't grow up in that struggle life. I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I didn't grow up in struggle life. I'm not going to apologize for the fact that my parents wanted and prepared for me, gave me a great quality life, not just me, but my sister, afforded us, good education, travel experience. I have been traveling since I was a teeny tiny baby. My mother is from Bermuda, and I used to go to Bermuda every summer until I went to university. My first trip to Europe was in the year 2000, where I went to Italy with a school trip. You know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily coming from the same background from people that have literally never traveled, never kind of incorporated that into their lifestyle. I'm someone who has had that exposure and desired a different lifestyle than the one that I was living in America. The hard truth that I want to say is I am not a slave. In my opinion, a lot of the lifestyle option that is available to you in the Western world is that option. And I looked into the future to say, is there any way out? Is there any light at the end of the tunnel? For myself, for the quality of life I like, it was just not going to happen in that setting. I briefly moved to the UK. I lived in the UK for 3.5 years until I came to the conclusion that, hey, I don't have to wait 20 years or 25 years or retirement to live a lifestyle that's more comparable to how I want to live. Number one. Number two, it's way more practical to try to move when I'm in my youth and I can acclimate and get accustomed, and all those things. And if I need to hustle back and forth, as I do, I travel back and forth, I do various things. Sometimes I work in the West, sometimes I drive Uber in the West. I do what I need to do to facilitate my lifestyle. And I rather live it like that than the full-on endless grind that's available in America. I did not move to Ghana for a man. I did not move to the UK for a man. Although I've never been accused for moving to the UK for a man, nobody said, oh, she moved to England for a man. No. But somehow you come to the continent. Let me just break this down quickly before I wrap up. Okay, Ghana boasts beaches and tropical weather all year long. Ghana boasts a, homogeneous, almost all Black population. Ghana has organic food. Ghana has a safe environment. Ghana has some of the best nightlife currently in the world for our people. You know what I'm saying? In addition to me being involved with the Ghanaian community, me liking the food, me understanding the language, me having friends and connections and networks here. Okay, now let me say, let me give you an example of where I moved for a man. Let's say I go on Instagram. There is this super fine brother. He's from Uganda. Okay. I pack my bags up and I move to Uganda. I don't know the language. I don't know anybody there. You know what I'm saying? I've never been there before. I don't know anything about Uganda. It's safe to deduce that, Gina saw this guy on Instagram. Maybe she got motivated. Yeah, let me go get me one of these macho men in Uganda. I've been here in Ghana for 5+ years, and I came, I came 4 years before I even ever moved here. Which man is it? Which man is it? So I don't know, guys. Shout outs to the African Superstar family. I do want to always remind you guys I offer private tours here. If any of you guys know people planning to come to Ghana, send them my way. You can be assured they're going to be taken care of. If you need to travel here, I'm the one and only. Look no further. Leave your comments below. And I'm curious if any of you other ladies have migrated abroad. Have you encountered the same thing where everyone just assumes that you have chosen to move or travel due to a man? Until we meet again, stay Black and true. If you ain't Black, just stay true.